Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sipping Wealth Live, where I bring you news, tips, and tricks on how to wealth up. Welcome back, y'all. So today we are talking about this insurance crisis that is going on because property insurance is going crazy over here. So I have been seeing a lot of people talking about the property insurance prices and everything like that in Florida, and then even in a couple of other states, but mainly in Florida because I live here. So I wanted to make sure I touched on this topic tonight and chat with you all about it. So we're gonna get into it. All right. Before we get into it, for those of you tuned in with me, go ahead and drop a comment in the comment section. Say hey to your girl. And also, if you are, make sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel Sipping Wealth so that you don't miss out on any Sipping Wealth lives, as well as making sure that you support the page and channel as well. Alrighty, y'all. Hold on, I wanna check something real quick. Okay, y'all. All right, let's get into it. All right, okay. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get into basically the reasons why the insurance prices have been increased in Florida. I'm gonna get into how they figure out how much they should charge for property insurance. And then I'm going to give you all some tips on how to, possibly get that insurance premium down moving forward. And the reasons why, the hike as well. So let's go ahead and get started on the reasons for this hike. Like, what is the story behind it? What's going on? As far as where did this hike come from? So basically, and especially with Hurricane Ian back in 2022, along with all the other disasters, natural disasters and things like that, um, they had a lot of costs come out in damages. Hurricane Ian happened September of 2022, and that estimated costs for insurance companies hit them about $60 billion alone for that hurricane specifically. So that's about an estimate about how much they paid out, that the insurance companies paid out because of Hurricane Ian. So because of that, and other natural disasters and things like that, they were like, oh shoot, we gotta hike these things up. We gotta take more precaution. Another factor that played a role is inflation. So the cost of everything, y'all, is going up. When you go to the grocery store right now, how expensive it is to purchase that shopping cart. Okay. Things that we normally have purchased in the past for a lesser amount has increased overall. So inflation across the board is up. Okay. Everything is up. And if you're a business owner and you haven't increased your prices, I know you're hurting because everything else, cost of goods, cost of labor, everything is increasing. Even across the state of Florida, the mandate to have the minimum wage for the state of Florida is going up to $15 an hour. So it's like everything is going up. And then the other thing is lower competition. So with the hurricanes coming to the state and things like that, a lot of these insurance companies were like, yo, we're not messing with Florida anymore. Like, we're going to go ahead and head out. So they sold a lot of their policies to other insurance companies that are here. Some of them did. Others were like, yeah, we're not renewing you. You have to find somebody else to insure you moving forward because we're done after this year. So there's lower competition as far as the amount of insurance companies there are in the state that are insuring properties. My bad. That are insuring properties, and then their natural disasters, inflation, yeah. Okay. And then that Hurricane Ian came through. They was like, ooh. Okay, so all that come into play. They're like, absolutely not. we need to make sure we do something better. Another thing as well is um, construction costs. So the cost to essentially rebuild these homes has increased. Even if you like are going to purchase a new build, the amount of money that you're purchasing that you're building a new home is not the same, because of inflation, because of supply chain, because of the demand for skilled workers. That is huge. The demand for skilled workers is really like a huge issue in a lot of industries, but especially in the construction and home space. So to find the uh, contractors, to find the electricians, the plumbers, all these people, these skilled laborers are harder to find. So because there's a scarcity in skilled laborers, now you're having to pay the people that are actually qualified in these positions more money. And what is that going to do? Drive up the cost as far as making building the home by square footage, because you got to make sure that you're compensating these labor workers. All right. The other thing is like other like non-weather related events like fires, theft, just crime overall. Y'all know Florida, the crime is not the the best here. So, crime overall across the state. Also fraudulent claims. There has been an increase of fraudulent claims, insurance claims in Florida. So that's going to drive up the cost of insurance as well. So between the hurricane damages, the rising costs of construction, inflation, theft, fraudulent claims, the other insurance companies is leaving the state of Florida and saying, "Yo, we don't even want to deal with Florida anymore." So now you have less competition. Um, and market conditions, so all that coming together, now they're like, okay, we have to increase the overall policy. So the average amount of as far as the premiums, the insurance premiums in Florida for Florida homeowners is $6,000. So I know in Jacksonville, depending on your property, that's not the average for Jacksonville, but I know, for example, in South Florida, oh yeah, they're getting hit with $6,000 plus. So they're getting hit with $8,000, even more than that. So it is a huge uh, as far as the amount of costs for average cost for homeowners insurance in Florida, it is a lot higher. Um, but yeah, y'all, it's crazy. Citizens, which is a huge insurance company in the state of Florida, they're actually hoping to transfer almost 350,000 policies to other insurance companies. So they actually want to dump. Citizens want to dump a lot of their policies to other carriers, and a lot of other insurance companies are essentially doing the same thing in the state. Also, y'all, if y'all have questions while I'm live, feel free to drop it in the comment section. Yeah, do your thing. But yes, so all these factors are reasons why you have the increase of the insurance prices, premiums in the state of Florida. Which if you're a business owner, you can kind of have more understanding to it towards this. As a homeowner, you're thinking, oh my gosh, my bills are going up. What I'm used to paying $3,000 for my property insurance, and it went up to $5,000, $6,000. What's going on? And it's because of all those reasons that I just went over. So, just so that you have more of an idea of why your insurance is increasing in the state. And also, just so that you know, Florida is not just the only state that the insurance homeowners insurance increased. You do also have New Mexico, Colorado, Idaho, Texas, all the places that are becoming more heavily populated. So a lot of people are moving to these different places. So that's also increasing the insurance as well, in these places specifically. But Florida definitely takes the cake. Which you can imagine because of all the natural disasters and things like that. Um, let me see. I touched on why your insurance is so high. Um, okay. How do they come up with the cost of insurance? All right. So to determine how much you're paying for insurance, there's different factors that come into play. The cost that is the dwelling coverage, which essentially is the square footage times the cost it's gonna take to rebuild your property, the age of your roof, the type of roof you have, whether you have impact resistant roofing or windows, garage doors, or other doors, your electricals within the home. So all these are going to determine how much your property insurance is. So the more up to date, the more weather resistant these things are in the property, the better your insurance premium is going to be. But all those factors come into play as far as how much you're actually paying for the insurance, as well as the other things I mentioned as far as why it went up. All right. And I want to hop into ways that you can go ahead and save on your property insurance, because why not? What good is to go over all the money coming out of your pocket without telling you how you can keep some money in your pocket. All right. So here are some tips. So first things first is to shop around. So I understand when you have an insurance company for a while, you don't want to go and shop around for different insurance quotes and have to, maybe get spam. Now you're dealing with phone calls and people calling, hey, do you want to come to our insurance company? Hey, da da da. But shopping around can help you with getting a better rate. So, and I also know that, oh my God, a lot of people pay their property insurance through their escrow. So having to say, oh my gosh, I got to shop around, then make sure that they get added to my escrow account so that it gets paid out. I understand that it could be, added work, but would you take the added work if it's going to help you get the best rate as far as for the coverage that you need on your property? Yeah, go ahead and, do the work behind getting your property insurance down. Another thing is to bundle your policies. So a lot of your insurance companies, like the company that you do like your auto insurance, anything else with, they also do home insurance. So you can have a package where essentially you can bundle your home and auto insurance, for example, and see if that's going to help discount the amount that you're paying. Also doing like a higher deductible. So if you can go up $500 on your deductible so that you can decrease the amount that you're paying overall um on the insurance, then that may be something that you want to make entertain, because that can help you with paying that premium every year by just saving $500 extra or $1,000 extra in a rainy day account to cover the higher deductible. The other thing is that make sure that you improve your home security. So make sure that you have, an alarm system, deadbolts, smoke detectors, these things in your property, because that's going to help. I know a lot of insurance companies won't even insure you if you don't have these things in your property. So making sure that you have these things in the property will help with decreasing your overall premium as well. Um, The other is make sure that you maintain a good credit score, because whether you believe it or not, your credit score does impact the amount that you're paying in insurance. Because if you have a terrible habit of paying these creditors on time, the insurance company is going to be like, hold up, you're high risk. You're you're not you're not credit worthy. So you want to make sure that you maintain a good credit score so that it can also qualify you for lower rates as well and keep your rates lower. Small claims. So avoid making small claims where you on your through your insurance company where you can just pay out of pocket to do the repair. So if you can do if you're like, oh man, I have a $1,000 plumbing issue that went down in the property, don't call your insurance company for it, because that's now you have a claim that's hitting your insurance when you could have just paid out of pocket to go ahead and get that fixed. I'm using that as an example. But small claims, small things like that you can go ahead and pay out of pocket for. You want to go ahead and pay out of pocket versus doing it because that will make your overall premium go higher when you can help avoid that. The other one is to review your coverage every year. A lot of people just been paying the same insurance company every year and not even looking at it, and all of a sudden they just realized it's up $3,000, but it's been going up $1,000 every year for the last couple of years. But now they're like, well, I could have sworn I was paying $2,000 back when, but it's been increasing this whole time, but you haven't been looking at it until it really hit, especially this year where a lot of people are like trying to penny pinch, trying to save, trying to figure out, okay, where their money's coming through at. So in a year like this, yes, you're probably looking at your expenses thinking, oh man, I need to decrease my expenses, or how am I going to come up with this? Versus in other years, maybe when you had that tax or that stimulus came through, you weren't really looking at it that way. But now that the money, a little funny, or the money is skimp, you're looking at it like, ooh, um, this is so much higher than it was in the past. So this could be a factor as well. All right. The other thing is to make sure that you're preparing for like storms. So putting impact resistant windows, hurricane shutters, making sure that you're up to changing out those or putting on missing shingles from your roof, or making sure that your roof is sturdy enough to make it through a storm. So all these are things making sure that your property is ready for in case of a storm. Reinforcing your property can help with decreasing your premium overall too, because it's going to one help with those claims those that you may have to file through the insurance company, and also it's going to show that the insurance company that, hey, I have impact resistant windows, I have hurricane shutters, so because I have this, I should my overall premium for the year should be lower. So this can also help with decreasing your overall premium as well. So you can get them installed. And another reason is now you have a lower amount that's going towards um, a lower cause or a lower risk of something actually happening to your property as well. Because overall, you don't want anything to happen. You don't want to have to go through the trouble of, oh shoot, my property was flooded out, or dang, the hurricane knocked off the roof off my property and now it's gone. Stuff like that. All right, so that's some tips on how you can decrease your overall insurance price for the year. I did go over why it's high. And I went over how they come up with the insurance price, and I just went over ways that you can decrease it. If you are just tuning in, then I recommend like checking out this live. It's a relatively shorter video because I want to make sure that I get all the information in here, so that if you are rewatching this, you can rewatch it, put it on play, get all the information that you need, and then or share it with your friends, your family that have homes, things like that, so they can help, so you can help them get their insurance costs down for the year. I know this is just kicking people's butts out here, but there are some ways that you can get it down just by doing those few things. And then also to make sure that you are provided with more education around why the insurance went up and how they come up with the pricing as far as the premium for the insurance. Yeah, y'all. So let me make sure y'all ain't got no questions for me. No. Okay. So Thank you, you all for tuning in for another episode of Sipping Wealth Live. Make sure that you tune in next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Where I go live again, bringing you news, tips, and tricks on how to wealth up. And we'll be sure to release the topic coming up. It's going to be something in the real estate space, so check us out. But I will see y'all next week. Have a wonderful, amazing rest of your Tuesday, and let's wealth up.